I'm an Air Force brat. My dad was in the Air Force. I was born in on Shaw Air Force Base in Sumter, South Carolina. We lived there until my dad got out of the Air Force. I was about 8 years old. Him and my mom moved to Tennessee. Once in Tennessee, they had kind of, they'd separated, parted ways, and my dad wound up eventually meeting someone and moving to Hickman County. I moved in with my dad probably around 6th grade. Went back and stayed here for a little while. Went back, lived with my mom for a little bit. And then I met my wife. I was 16 and met her. We were high school sweethearts. And, once you meet somebody like that, you kind of don't want to leave. So I stayed here, joined the military when I was 17. Wanted to be in law enforcement, like I told you earlier, and so I joined as a military police officer. Me and my wife got married on our anniversary's coming up July 15th, so we got married July 15th, 2006. In September of 06, we found out she was pregnant, so she got pregnant right after we had got married. Kind of, settled in even a little more, bought us a house right here off the square in Centerville. Just been living life up here and trying to do what we can for the community. I did serve as a city alderman for a little while, and would still be serving if I wouldn't have sold my house. We're planning on actually building another house, so I'm going to kind of dig my roots in a little bit more and finish up here. But the whole thing of being here in Hickman County is definitely something I'm not upset of a decision that I've made. I like the small town feel. I've been many different places. I've been to different countries and everything else, and you just don't find the small town feel like you do in Hickman County. I'm young. I'm enthusiastic. I've got a lot of newer training, both through the military and through law enforcement. I strive to better myself in that aspect. As far as the more training I can get, the better I can be. I got a lot of newer, fresher ideas that I think would definitely progress the department from where it's sitting now. I think a lot of it is about leadership. I've kind of looked back at myself and how I've developed into a leader, not only in the military, but in other aspects of my life. And I think, there's a difference between being a leader and a boss. A boss will sit back and tell you what to do. A leader will go out there and show you how to do it and show you how it's done. And I feel like I'm a very well-developed leader, even at 31 years old. I want to get out there with the guys. I want to be available to the public. I want to be more interactive with the children in our community, because what better way to prevent crime than to stop it before it happens? You have, we have a narcotics problem in Hickman County. Everybody knows that. But not only try to fix that issue there, but also fix the issue before it ever happens. Be a little proactive with that. Even as a city alderman, my main concern was the children. Let's get that park fixed up. Let's do stuff like that. Here, let's focus on crimes before they happen. That's what everybody talks about. That's what everybody wants to hear. Let's focus on crimes before they happen. Where do they start at?
Right.
The children. We can go back and start implementing DARE programs and stuff like that. Something similar to that, not necessarily. There's multiple programs out there for that type of stuff. And start getting more involved in the schools. Thankfully, from what I've been told, the county commission has approved some more school resource officer positions. That's always a big plus to have. The more if we could get one in every school, would be a huge thing to the community.
Yes.
So, and just in a nutshell, I got a lot of motivation. I'm ready to get things done. I want to work with the community. I want to be open to the public, and I want to, start working more interactively with the children of the community to prevent crimes before they ever happen. Most proud of?
Yeah.
My children. That's my family, and my children is going to be the number one thing. Just my family comes first in everything I do, other than God. I mean, God's first, family second, others third, self last. But my pride is my, waking up in the morning and seeing those four beautiful faces, yelling, or you come home from work and before you ever even get your duty belt off, it's daddy, daddy, and then you got one on one leg, one on another one jumping on your back. That's probably what I'm most proud of. Other than that, and I hate bragging about it. You can ask my wife, but serving in the military, deep down inside, I'm proud of it. It's been, a lot of people think that, oh, you're just National Guard or whatever, but there's a lot of things I could, prove and show you that, the National Guard isn't what everybody thinks it is. My deployment to Iraq, went over there with 2 soldiers underneath me and came back with 2 soldiers underneath me. Both of who, we were a family while we were there. And, that I would have to probably say that just, and also being in law enforcement, that was an accomplishment. That was a goal that I set early in life, 16, 17 years old. I'm going to be a police officer. I'm going to join the military. So I would have to say I'm definitely proud of those as well. One of the goals that I've had a lot of people to ask me about is what I was going to do about the drugs within the community. So I think that's something that would be, important to focus on. That goal, that entails, and it would just have to be something I would work on, and I would have to see, because I don't claim to know everything. That's a big position to fill. That's a man of many hats. It's a multi-million-dollar company pretty much if you look at it. But speak with the DEA and the judge and stuff about excuse me,
Sure.
about setting either harsher punishments for these drug offenses, repeat offenders. Also, if it's a first-time offender on a heavy amount or a large amount of not obviously something that they're trafficking, but if it's obviously something you can see they have an addiction, offer them shortened sentences and work with the local churches, rehab centers, and communities. Hey, if you do this program, if you finish this program before your sentence is up, we'll look into early release, and that would be the early release would be done by a board. Consisting of myself or a representative for myself, the instructor of the course, and also another individual that would be selected. Yeah. That way, it would not only give them something to strive for. Nobody wants to stay in jail, and we don't want our jail full.
Right.
So this would give them the opportunity. Now, the thing with this is it's a one-shot opportunity. Because I don't want to. 2-3 times I'll let you go because you did good and you finished the class, and 2 or 3 times I'll let you go and you keep coming back. I'll give you one shot. You complete the course. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to make some sacrifices on your end, and and let them decide what they want to do. Yeah. So hopefully not only reduce population in the jail, reduce recidivism, people coming back to jail, and reduce drugs within our community. They're going to be there. We can't completely 100% eliminate them, right, but we'll do our best to take it down, compared to what it is now. Going back to that also, we have a lot of intelligent officers in the department now. I know because I worked with them. They all have a lot of good connections. Narcotics detectives, they work well, with other counties, surrounding counties. And I've seen them work well with them, and they figure this kind of stuff out. So try to improve upon that. Improve upon more training, either free or at minimal cost to the community for the deputies.
Right.
And Tennessee Law Enforcement Information Center, they put out all kinds of free courses or low cost courses to law enforcement. So not just for drug training, but community interactions, that type of thing.
Yeah. There's active shooter courses that are free. I know the federal government puts on some of those.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, just there's that's one of my goals. Like I said, is the reduction of drugs in the county. The other one would be to train officers. Allot them more time for training. Work specifically with the shift sergeants to open up schedule times. And the other thing is just another goal of mine is to be able to listen to the community and be available to them as much as possible. I know everybody has concerns and and stuff like that. I do get on certain web pages on Facebook and I like looking at the concerns, and if there's something that I can do to help fix that or alleviate that, then we try to do that. So. Biggest thing, if we'll talk about the money thing, we can ask a multitude of citizens, do you have a home security system on your house?
Yeah.
And you pay for that every month, right? So you pay for your safety and for your home safety, correct? Why would you not be willing to pay for the safety by having the people that respond to those alarms to make sure that they have the right equipment and training to get there? To me, law enforcement is just not something you can sacrifice anything on. If anything, there should be an increase in the budget for law enforcement and EMS, emergency services, every year, because things don't get cheaper. They haven't gotten cheaper in a long time. So, we need, as a county, to compensate for that. And, you don't want to sacrifice anything out of your safety. You want EMS to get there on time. You don't want their trucks to break down. You want your sheriff's department to get there on time. You don't want their cars to break down. So, that kind of stuff, they definitely need to be looking at. You need to get up there and you need to show the county commission why you need a certain budget every year. This is why I need this. This is why I need these people. Right. This is why I need this extra funding. Because if you don't, and you don't break it down to them, I know from being a city alderman, when something was asked of me, hey, we need $500 for a new lawnmower. What do we need? Of course, I wish I could buy a new lawnmower for $500, but why do you need $500 for a new lawnmower? Well, we just need one. Our old one's not working right. What do you mean? Why ain't it working right? Will it cost me $250 to fix it? Your old mower, or are you just trying to get a new mower out of me? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So you need a detailed list of why you need what you need. I think every candidate needs to definitely be focused on their budget, because that depends on how they're going to operate their departments. It's just one of those things, Yeah. Well, and I'm not. One thing I won't ever do is, and I wouldn't care if they done it to me. I'm not going to talk negative about any candidate at all. That's just, that's not who I am. But I can say that, there is aspects inside of every department and in our department that could be improved. Not saying that anything's being done wrong now. Communication with the public can be improved. If I was elected sheriff, I wouldn't be somebody that you would just see at the end of every upcoming election year. Election year, I better get out there and start posting stuff on Facebook and this, that, and the other. I don't want to be that type of candidate. I want to be somebody that interacts with the community almost religiously. Like you'd see my face, you would know where I am, know what I'm doing. I want the citizens to know what they're paying for is worth what they're paying for. I enjoy my time at Murray County Sheriff's Department currently. It's a great department to work for. Probably the best thing that I get from that is the amount of community events that are done. The interaction with the public is always positive. I go out to a store or I stop and get something to eat. Thank you for what you do. Have a great day. Hold the door open for you. The community and the law enforcement really clashes over there. Like they really get along really well, and it's amazing to see that. And the current sheriff now, he constantly interacts with the community, and people really respect him for that. So it's you learn from other people too. I've learned from the sheriff over Murray County now. I've learned things from Randall. You learn things from as long as you go. So it's constantly, like I said, learning and building yourself and taking things that you like from one person and leaving the things that you don't like and then building them on something you've seen from somebody else. I would say probably the majority, and I'm not a psychological expert or anything by no means, but just based off my experience is the escape from the reality that they're living in, So initially it becomes a harmless thing. Say I do meth. What do you know? Meth is just I'm constantly hyper. I'm high. I'm happy. Whatever. They're not thinking about what's going on in reality. The reality is I don't have a job. I'm homeless.
Yeah.
You know, or my family doesn't like me. I'm trying to I don't just whatever's going wrong in their life. It gives them that escape from it,
Yeah.
and it becomes out harmless at first. Well, just like anything else, your body becomes addicted to it.
Yeah.
Same as like nicotine or alcohol or anything of that nature. Your body has to have it at some point. So no longer does it become not only an escape, but a must. Because, if you don't get what your body wants, your body's not going to act right, and you're not going to like that feeling. And then you have some people who it's an accidental thing. I had a back surgery, I had a knee surgery, whatever. They gave me Percocet for my back surgery. Well, the one Percocet didn't do it. Maybe I'll take 2 next time. Okay, now I got 2. Eventually, okay, 2's not doing it, and I better take 3. And then you see what I'm saying? And then it's a cycle. And then
they end up addicted.
Exactly. So, there could be multiple reasons why somebody becomes addicted. It could have been, oh, I'm just going to go out and, I'm going to go out and party. I'm going to, do a line of cocaine. And, they do it. And they're one of those people that are susceptible to addiction. And all of a sudden, bam, they're hooked to cocaine. So there's a lot of different reasons why somebody can become addicted. So I would think, but I would probably say the top 2 are, accidental, and then escape. Just simple things. Let the deputies know that you care. You see a deputy out. This goes even if I don't get elected. You see one of your local deputies out, just in town, whatever, stopping at the gas station to get them something to drink, maybe stand up because they've been sitting in that car for a while patrolling around for the day, so they just want to get out and stretch their legs. Go up to them, just tell them thank you.
Yeah.
A thank you and letting them know that you appreciate what they do goes a long way. It's like I was talking about earlier, how the community and the sheriff's department clash in another county. When I go out in public, it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
And I think, and nobody's perfect. We all know that. We know that, you're not gonna, everybody's gonna make mistakes, and law enforcement has always been held to a higher regard than the rest because, we're supposed to have all this training and we got all this equipment and this, that, and the other, but we're humans too. One of the greatest feelings at the end of the day, besides my kids hanging on me when I come in the door, is taking that vest off.
Yeah.
It's a relief. Oh, I'm home. I'm safe. I can relax now. I'm not on that high strung where I'm looking around everywhere, type thing. But if they feel that from the community, and I have to say, there's when I worked up here at the sheriff's department, people would send cakes and cookies and stuff like that. That kind of stuff means a lot to your law enforcement. That shows them you support them. If they put on any type of events for their law enforcement, just come down there for a few minutes, say hi, that type of thing. I have no issues with it. I think it's a great way to I guess you would say, recruit new deputies.
Yeah.
It allows them, somebody who may be kind of uncertain about law enforcement, opportunity to observe and see how it is. It gives you as a supervisor an opportunity to see how that person may perform if you decide to hire them later on down the road. What I wouldn't want to see in a reserve deputy program would be, here's your badge, here's your commission card. Now come in one day a month, and then whatever else you do with it, you go to Nashville and work security jobs or whatever. That would not happen. I think the reserve deputy program can be a great asset. It can actually help the department in certain areas, not just doing mental health transports to Nashville or anything like that, but if you get good, strong individuals, obviously would be an interview process for them. Strong-minded, strong-willed individuals in there to assist. I mean, you could do great things with it.
Yeah.
You could do great things. I think some people just have this niche in them where they want to do law enforcement. I don't think there's really too much attraction that you have to do. You could put in there, in the local newspaper and here on the local radio station, you know, we're looking for reserve deputy officers. Come fill out an application if you'd like to. Kind of right off the bat explain to them what's expected of them.
Yep.
You know, it's not something, you know, I did the reserve deputy program when I worked at the prison, and you know, they were generous enough to give me the uniform tops and bottoms, but I bought my belt, my holster, and my flashlight, and my own weapon and everything.
Yeah.
Because it's not another debt that the department needs to incur, so they'll have to understand that as well. Also, they'll understand that, you know, there's a certain amount of hours you're going to work every month doing a certain amount of things. If you fail to fulfill that, then you'll no longer be a reserve deputy and will request you turn in your badge and your commission card. So they would definitely have to be dedicated to it. And it's possible. It definitely is. I'm in complete support of the reserve deputy program. Well, I mean, you know, it's just, I really enjoy Hickman County. I wasn't born here. It's like kind of like you said earlier, I'm not really a politician. I'm just a straightforward kind of guy. I want to do what's right, and my dad always told me, don't ever complain about anything unless you've tried to fix it first. So I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to, you know, campaign for sheriff. Hopefully win the election, and you know, if they don't like me, at least in 4 years, you got an opportunity to get rid of me again. But I don't think that would be an issue. I think I would love to have a stronger relationship with the community as far as the law enforcement aspect of it goes, and just all around be an open book. I don't want secrets inside a department, and all of a sudden you got to find out about it from the newspaper because he happened to go through the right report or something. And a lot of things that have happened can be, you know, cured. You know, I'm looking at quarterly evaluations for the deputies by their supervisors. Bringing in a strong chief deputy to do quarterly evaluations or even monthly evaluations on the supervisors to make sure that everything that's getting done. You see a lot of people that talk about, well, you know, you always see them in Centerville, all the deputies in Centerville up there with the police officers eating. You know, and sometimes that's okay. I used to come in and eat with Centerville City police officers all the time. You know, I did think that sometimes it could be not every day, maybe randomly once or twice a week, go to a certain spot, eat. Why? Because that builds camaraderie. That builds camaraderie amongst your city officers, your county officers, and it builds camaraderie amongst inside your department as well. So, you know, you don't want to tear something like that away. But just, there's a lot of things that can be changed. There's a lot of things that can be done, and I'm willing to do them. I'm willing to put forth the effort and the time and the work in order to do that.